Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to another jam-packed, exciting edition of AIWF Ringside Wrestling. I am Mad Carter, being joined by Commissioner Rick Diesel, AIWF Hall of Famer Brian Danzig, and although you can't see her, she's there. AIWF Hall of Famer Pagan is here as well, lending her expertise to the panel as always. Guys, I'm telling you what, that show last week with Chains, I normally don't do this, not always, but if we have a really good show, I like to watch it back to see if it was as good playing it back as I thought it was when it was happening. And the show with Chains, I watched twice on YouTube and listened to once on Apple Podcasts. But for some reason, I found it hilarious on the audio version when you actually hear the chair shot. It really does sound like a gunshot, like you were talking about, Brian. And I texted Rick Diesel. I was sitting in the car waiting for my wife to come out of a hair appointment and just kept playing it over and over and over again, like the Zapruder film, right? and was just, I mean, I guess the little old lady in the car next to me thought I was just crazy because I was sitting there just hysterically laughing and wiping away tears. And it got to the point that I almost started to think I was going to have a heart attack. And so I had to just let the tape roll. But have you guys heard any feedback from anybody, or anybody said anything to you about what they thought about that show? It certainly was different.
I've seen a lot of people talking about it on Facebook, Tennessee people talking about it on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about, just how good it was to see Chains on and hear him talking about it, and just hearing him telling stories and hearing us telling stories and stuff like that. So I saw a lot of people talking about it on Facebook.
I haven't heard a lot or noticed a lot, but with my one of the companies I run, Christmas, it makes me go into hermit mode anyhow. So
yeah, I just saw the feedback kind of like you did, Reagan, with the stuff online, and I thought it was really unique. So the network has joined us. If you're watching the video feed, that would be Kevin Phoenix. I don't know if he's here to just observe or is going to contribute to the program.
He's got 3 names now.
Yes, he does. I'm confused.
I don't understand. It's like Kevin Phoenix Krampus or something like that. I don't know exactly. But
Wow.
I don't know for sure. Oh, he unmuted.
Yeah, I unmuted.
He don't know how to run a camera, apparently.
No, I don't. No, I'm not needed. I don't have to show my face. It's totally fine.
Yeah, I mean,
it's funny that it just says the network. I'm sorry.
I know, it just says the network.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by ABC.
Yeah. And for those of you, I always joke a lot that we do a lot to piss off the audio crowd when we're watching videos and stuff like that. Now, this is going to piss off the YouTube crowd because they can hear him just fine, but they're like, I'm watching on YouTube. Turn on your fucking camera.
Man with 3 names. I don't understand. You got to tell us why you have 3 names now.
Yes, please.
I'll go by my legal birth name of Kevin Phoenix Cochran III.
Cochran or Cochran?
Cochran, like Johnny.
Cochran.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought of, was Johnny Cochran. So
it's not cock ring.
Okay, sorry.
No, not cock ring.
Okay, I had an ear infection. Sorry.
No,
No,
I'm not what's in your nightstand. No.
This is like OJ, not Pornhub.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh
my God. Okay, sorry.
Oh man, it took us quick to get off the rails this week.
Yes, it did. This is a good sign.
It is a very good sign.
So let me go ahead and get the slideshow going, because we got some stuff to discuss this week, buddy. Boy, there has been some news around the wrestling world, that's for sure. Can you see the screen in the slideshow?
Yes.
All right. So anyway, welcome to AIWF Ringside Wrestling for December 18th. And this is our Christmas special. If you look real quickly at this picture, you can see it's very homely. All the candles are lit on the Advent wreath. Funny to be talking about how awesome Christmas is right after a conversation about a cock ring, but that Advent wreath can wash us clean of all these dirty thoughts. But anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody. It's Christmas week. I wanted to ask you guys, no, y'all want to do a show on Christmas night? That's next Sunday.
No,
Don't matter to me. I won't be doing that.
ham. Lots and lots of ham.
All right, maybe Rick Diesel and
But,
I'll
that,
come
but
on
speak to the men. Speak to the men. I'm just a little old woman here. So
Well, we'll talk later in the week, but yeah, maybe we'll come on and do it. Look real quick at this picture and see if you can find something in it that doesn't belong. You have 10 seconds.
The chair's too close to the fireplace.
No, it's more flagrant than that. It's something in this picture is not with the Christmas theme, and it's not the stuff up on the racing memorabilia on the mantle. It's not, or
the
my
Valentine heart.
Yes, you got it, Reagan. Nice job. I took the picture, and it wasn't until I uploaded it and put it on the big screen on the computer that the box of Valentine's Day candy that Jinky never ate is still sitting there.
And that's why we have her on the show. Because she see things that we would have no idea was there.
Yep.
Good.
Eye.
It was red. I thought it was a Christmas decoration.
Yep. But and like I said, when I took the picture, I didn't even notice. I've been sitting there like when I'm working, it's to my right from where my computer desk is for my shoot job. And I've been saying, I need to get that out of there. It just does not look right. The Valentine's heart and the Christmas decoration. That's a dead giveaway how long that thing's been there, 10 months. So, but I hadn't done it yet. So anyway, maybe it'll go in the trash after the show. All right, folks, you know the deal. We got the best advertising rates in wrestling, I think. I don't think you're going to get on any other podcast for $10 a month for a 30-second to 1-minute read. But we got you covered here at Ringside Wrestling. All you need to do is reach out to us by any of our social media, our YouTube, Facebook. You can come see us at live events. We'll be glad to talk to you there. Or you can shoot us an email at AIWF20@hotmail.com. Your ad read will be featured on all of these platforms, plus some that are not pictured. We do this show live on Facebook. It's archived on YouTube, and it's also placed on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you find your favorite podcasts. We also we have an episode on the Roku channel, but in the end, all this is geared to drive traffic to the Roku channel, which you need to check out. All you have to do on any Roku device is search AIWF Network, and it will come up. Now, you'll probably have to type everything in. It's not going to come in easy, but you will find it, and it's got just tons of content on there. So need to check that out. Also, you can see us on Instagram. We've been making our match announcements there. AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling and Diesel 24/7. We just really break news on those accounts. So you're not going to see us putting up stuff to just be putting up stuff on those deals.
Hey,
it's
if
just
at the shows you guys remind me I have one, I'll put stuff on it.
okay. So there you go, fans. All right. This is a picture of WWE headquarters, Rick Diesel. I know you've been there before. Yeah, there's goings on with Vince McMahon again this week. This is from the Wall Street. Go ahead.
Is this the new location? Didn't the location move?
I had heard a rumor that they were going to sell Titan Tower. I did not know if that had already happened.
Okay.
This is the picture that was in the Wall Street Journal, so that's why I'm going with that.
Well, the great thing about this building here, and I'm pretty sure if this is the old building, that road that you see going behind it has speed bumps back there, and they actually wrote the word bump on the road.
Oh, nice. I love it. But I'm gonna read to you from the Wall Street Journal article. Vince McMahon, the majority owner and former chief executive of World Wrestling Entertainment, is facing legal demands from two women who allege that he sexually assaulted them, according to internal documents and people familiar with the legal negotiations. In a November 3rd demand letter to McMahon's representative, a lawyer for former wrestling referee Rita Chatterton asked for $11.75 million in damages after she publicly accused Mr. McMahon 3 decades ago of raping her in a limousine. Mr. McMahon has long denied the allegations. The demand letter was reviewed by the Wall Street Journal. In a separate November email to Mr. McMahon's attorney, a lawyer for a former spa manager said that Mr. McMahon assaulted his client in 2011 at a California resort, and an incident previously unreported in the media. The private communications between lawyers for the women and Mr. McMahon's longtime attorney, Jerry McDevitt, come as WWE tries to move past Mr. McMahon's 40-year tenure and as the company's leader and into a new era. Mr. McMahon retired as WWE chief executive and chairman in July amid a board investigation of sexual misconduct claims against him after the Journal reported that he had agreed to pay more than $12 million in secret settlements since 2006 to suppress such allegations. And the article continues to go on about the details and the board and Mr. McMahon wanting to step down, rumors coming around that Mr. McMahon wants to come back. Yeah. Rita Chatterton is now 65 years old. And if you ever watched an old Saturday night main event from 1986, and early 87, I believe, she's the female referee with the long brown hair and the wrestling and the real tight pants. So everybody's known about this Chatterton thing for years. So I don't know. Thoughts, gentlemen? Rick Diesel, you said you had thoughts.
How many grandkids she got?
Rita, I don't know.
I'm assuming she's just trying to set them up for the rest of their life now. I mean, it is a little late on this, don't you think?
Yeah, but she accused him back in according to her, she confided in Greg Valentine, and also
He ain't gonna remember it.
Also, he remembers it all right. You would like a quote from him? Listen to this. John Wasinski, who wrestled as Greg Valentine, told the Journal that Miss Chatterton disclosed the allegations while the two were sharing a marijuana cigarette in a Marriott hotel parking lot in Albany, New York in the 1980s. Mr. Wisniewski
Rest
said,
my case.
listen to this. Mr. Wisniewski said he didn't believe Miss Chatterton then or now because he didn't think she was attractive enough for Mr. McMahon. Send your hate tweets to @Greg the Hammer Valentine, not me.
And I believe that.
Yeah.
Vince is very picky.
You think?
Yeah.
You think he is, or sometimes I'm getting the impression these allegations keep coming out that he'd just stick his pecker into anything warm.
Male or female.
Yeah, I've heard that story too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
But
Vince McMahon, not Kevin Phoenix, though. The man's got money. He's going to protect it. He'd be smarter than that.
I don't know. Sometimes though, people with money sometimes think that money will protect them no matter what. So they feel like they can do whatever they want. And so sometimes you think, well, they would be smarter than that, but sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're just like, oh, but I'm rich. I can just buy my way out. I can. Nobody's going to. This person works for me. They're not going to accuse me of anything, or they want to keep their job, so they'll keep their mouth shut.
And not to put.
Go
This
for it.
this is a very heavy subject. Heavy, not fun subject.
Mm-hmm.
And I've worked, in a shoot way, I've worked with victims of such things. And it's not about looks. It's not about attractiveness. It's about power. And it's about who has power. And he has power. He has the most power of anyone in that company. Mm-hmm. And it's about him exerting that power. And he's exerted that power over women. He's exerted that power over taking over territories. He's exerted that power over wrestlers. He's exerted that power over not unionizing those wrestlers. He's exerted those powers over fighting the ones who sued because they have CTE now. And he's exerted that power over countless other victims that aren't just rape victims. So he is someone who exerts his power in many different ways. So I don't doubt that he would exert his power in this way either.
And also also to that point about wanting to exert power, I think that's one of the reasons, he stepped down, but there's talks of him wanting to come back. I think the fact that everybody is so excited about the new direction the WWE is taking under the new leadership of Triple H, I think he's looking back, he's looking back on his decision and like, oh, they think he's better than me. I'll show them. I'm gonna take back over and show them how good I am at this. Even though it's his company, he would, and everybody's all excited about the new direction and they're getting more viewers. He's like, no, I don't care about that. I care about that I'm no longer in control and people are saying that it's better now.
And truth be told, he still is the vast majority of stockholder. I mean,
I think 84% is what I read.
I've read at least 80. So he could walk. I mean, he could walk back in there tomorrow and take back over, and nobody could stop it.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's just. But there was another incident in 2011. The spa manager at a resort in Southern California. McMahon was there while he was in town for the WWE event. And here I'm quoting from the Wall Street Journal again. The spa manager reported the alleged assault at the time to the resort, according to people familiar with the matter. The spa manager also told her husband about the incident. Some of these people said he drove to the WWE event with a baseball bat and tried to confront Mr. McMahon, but was turned away, according to these people. I can't imagine why security would stop a guy with a baseball bat. This woman's lawyer, Michael Bressler, has been in touch with Mr. McMahon's attorney since at least July, according to people familiar with the discussions. California, like New York, this is important, has a new law that allows alleged victims of sex abuse to file lawsuits that have otherwise been barred by the statute of limitations. Starting in January, victims will have a 1-year window to file such claims. Credit to Joe Palazzo. I think it's how you pronounce his name, Joe. I'm sorry if you ever hear this, I didn't get it right. And Ted Mann at the Wall Street Journal. For that
you
piece.
also have to think the reason people sue is because it's easier to prove in lawsuits culpability than it is in a court than to take them in a criminal court.
Right. Yeah. In criminal, it's innocent until proven guilty, and you have to have the evidence that it happened
Beyond reasonable doubt.
Right.
And there's not beyond reasonable doubt in civil cases. It's preponderance of evidence.
Right.
Now, this is a picture of Rita Chatterton, what we're looking at here for those of you watching the video stream in 1992.
She's more attractive than, well, never mind, I'm not going to say.
On a talk show.
Than Baby Doll. She's more attractive than Baby Doll.
I ain't touching that one with a 10-foot pole.
I'm just saying. Some people saying she's unattractive. I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, due to inflation, Baby Doll is now a perfect 6.
Oh, shots fired, Baby Doll. Somebody that play
Hey, she canceled a show on us the last minute one time. I have a grudge. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that makes everything fair. So yeah, if she backed out on you at the last minute, no fair there. So I am a firm believer that the American justice system does not work when it comes to rich people. I've never seen a rich person convicted of anything. OJ got away with 2 murders. They ain't never going to pin nothing on Trump. It's just I've never seen any, I can't remember any rich person, even Robert Blake. I mean, pretty much shot his wife outside a restaurant in their own truck and got away with it because he was a little rascal, so
Weinstein's the only one who's really got it here recent, but I mean that was because everybody came out, like everybody.
Well, that, and he was abusing too many rich and powerful people who who were rich and powerful themselves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If
Right.
he
They
stuck
had to pick between the rich and
Right.
powerful people on that one, and they picked the ones that were more in the public eye.
Right.
Yeah.
If he had stuck to his masseuse and people who weren't famous, he could have gotten away with it for the rest of his life.
Mhm.
Yeah, he should have stuck with them background actors, the extras.
Well, they've said, I've heard people on Rogan's podcast and some other podcasts since that happened talk about like, well, everybody in Hollywood knew what the hell was going on. I mean, but he ran such a good company and was such a good employer, and everybody that made movies with him liked him. Like, well, Harvey's doing that shit, but damn, he sure is a nice guy, and he's made me a lot of money, so I can turn a blind eye.
Yeah,
You know-
a lot that happens a lot.
it's hard when going back to wrestling, it's hard when you're a woman in a man's world. The men, expect you to,
Spit
do
it out.
certain things, and and you don't always. That's not what not all women that are in the business are there to do those things. Some women are actually there to actually do the work in the business and not to do the fluff.
It sounds
of
like
business.
it sounds like you're trying to say in a nice way, Reagan, that there are women that are actually in the wrestling business. Some of them come there to actually wrestle and not be an on-demand blowjob service.
Yes, yes, and
Yeah.
yes, and and sometimes you have to remind the men in the business that you're not there to suck or do the blowjobs, and you're there to wrestle and manage and ref and do that stuff, and you have to bully your way away from them and stuff, and remind them and
Because
threaten them and
yeah,
et
because
cetera, et cetera.
I think a lot of men look at the situation as like the way they would look at it if the roles were switched, like if they were a man within a predominantly women filled dressing room, they would be like, oh yeah, pass me around. Yeah, great.
I would.
Yeah, I'll get in line. Yeah, but
Men
see,
are pigs.
women, yeah. I mean,
Oink,
and not to say that there may be some women who would be perfectly happy with that, and then great, everybody's happy. But most women aren't like that. Most women are like, no, I'm here to wrestle, and that's it.
Yeah. Well,
this is the most uncomfortable I've seen her in a conversation in a long time.
oh, we're gonna get it. I don't know if this next part after we do our couple of commercial reads is as uncomfortable as this, but it is certainly salacious, and we're gonna get into that too.
I guess it all boils down to, is this lady dialing for dollars?
Well, I think that's
I don't
just-
know.
like
I've
I
heard
said,
this.
though,
I've heard
But
this
like I
story
said,
for
though,
so many years.
it's easier to prove your case in that kind of court than it is in criminal court.
Yeah.
So you have to go where you can to prove your case, and it just so happens that money is involved in that.
Mhm.
Now, are there some people that go after money to go after money? Yes, there is.
Mhm.
Are there people out there who make up stories? Yes. Do I think that all women do it? No. I think this woman's story sounds legit to me. If it goes all the way back to 1980, I just think 86. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And knowing all this other stuff he does, he's not an angel.
No.
Yeah, it's true. And the thing is, you have to think, if you have a handful of people coming forward with allegations, think of all the people who didn't come forward. It takes a lot to come forward, because once you do, you're putting a big target on your back, and the money may not even be worth it. What it does to your reputation.
Mhm.
So it's just and again, like Reagan said, there are people who just make things up, but when things are just made up, the story falls apart. It's like, well, when did this happen? Where were you? Where was he?
Mhm.
And then if those things don't line up, then then the story falls apart, and their allegations lose credibility.
Well, the telltale thing for me was I've been hearing this story from Rita for many years. Hang on, let me get a drink of water. And I never believed it, and I'll tell you why. I've never heard anybody say anything nasty or mean about like Linda McMahon on any podcast, anything over the years. And I always thought to myself, if Linda is as classy and as, such a, classy person, real good human being and all this kind of stuff, if her husband was out there banging anything else with a pulse, she wouldn't stay with him. I mean, for a while, maybe, but eventually you dishonor your wife so many times, she's going to leave.
Wasn't there a rumor floating around that they've been living separately for a while though?
No, it's not a rumor. It's true. She lives in Florida now. So, and that we were covering something else about Vince like a month or two ago, and I was reading an article and it said his estranged wife, Linda, and I made the Rush Limbaugh, Rio Linda joke, estranged means they don't live together for those of you listening in Rio Linda. And so Rush Limbaugh listeners will think that's funny, but nobody else probably gets it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I made that joke, and so yeah, it's confirmed they do not live together now. And I've been told that Vince doesn't even live in his house anymore, that he's got an apartment in Stanford. So I don't know if he sold the house or what, it's just, but they're not together. So that kind of tells me there might be some truth to this. So and it doesn't help that Linda's, real big in the Republican Party, and they always run on values. Okay, so, so
yeah, we're just
thanks a lot, Vince.
I'm going to have to just like with any situation like this, let the lawyers get together and and sort it out. And but as far as who's telling the truth, who's lying, if she's obviously lying, there would be no need for a payout because it's already out there. It's not like to keep it quiet, just give her some money to keep her quiet.
Yeah.
Well, the allegations are already there.
Yeah, the allegations are 30 years old. I mean,
right, exactly. So there is no hush money. Just like, well, I didn't do this, but let's just shut her up and pay her. If there's a payout, then there's obviously some, at least some truth to the allegations, whether they go as far as what she says or not. That's nobody could really know for sure. But again, that'd be a pretty good indication if it does happen.
It'd certainly be interesting to see how things play out over the next few weeks and whether or not Vince McMahon actually seizes control of WWE back from Triple H and Stephanie. I certainly hope he doesn't, because I am one of these people who likes the direction it's going in.
Exactly. It would be a bad idea on so many levels. It would be a bad idea because it's going to draw the company back into this controversy. That in and of itself is enough to have him not take control back. But then also with everybody, even if none of this was going on, the fact that everybody is so happy with the new direction that WWE is taking under the new leadership, and then you're going to change course on that. I mean, it just makes no sense.
I mean, this is so crazy.
Abruptly change course.
Like, it's so crazy. Like, Joey Ryan can't even get a job at Disney World without people doxing him and getting him fired because people just said he made people have sex with him, made the women have sex with him in bar wrestling, and he's canceled. And then here we're talking about Vince McMahon coming back and retaking over the WWE after these kinds of allegations.
Well, if Joey Ryan didn't have such a stupid, sleazy dick gimmick that he used all over the internet in public, then it would have been harder to believe some of those charges. So, I'm just saying that, like, people, like, he was working at Disney World and people went in and told the people at Disney World what
they said about him and like got him fired. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just fun. I mean, it's just an interesting like juxtaposition.
Right,
you know?
but Joey Ryan,
It's poor. It's a poor little indie
right,
worker, and
yeah, and Vince McMahon is a multimillionaire.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
just interesting.
We will see how things play out. And remember, and also another point too, Brian, you think about like the biggest revenue stream for wrestling companies. We talk about how the independents are live attendance, right? And concessions and merch and all that kind of stuff. The TV is the biggest revenue stream for WWE, AEW, the national promotions.
Right.
So your ratings are still slowly starting to creep up. With SmackDown, they are. They're kind of, moving up a little bit, right? Raw is still in the tank, but that's because it's 3 hours. I mean, that there's not much you can do there. You just got to, make the best of a bad situation, because USA Network ain't going to let you cut it back to 2 hours. Ain't happening. But that relationship with NBC and Fox is so lucrative for them. And those networks depend on them for so much content every week. All that stuff to deal with Peacock, and they
I would
are
worry about advertisers.
That'll be the next thing they'll target.
Well,
Yeah.
it might be because they have done. I've always said this for years. Stephen Hayes pointed it out to me many years ago, and it turned out to be true. He said wrestling and NASCAR have the same audience, and I never thought about it. And I was like, well, I like both of them. Okay, well, I'm okay. Number one right here, but is it really true? And I never really saw anything that made me think that until this year, when all these TV deals came together and everything. The pandemic was over. The live audiences came back. They started cross promoting NASCAR and the wrestling on each other's program heavily, because Fox and NBC do NASCAR. And even like with Fox and the football games, Michael Cole does a couple of reads every Friday night for what's coming up on Sunday. And if you watch NFL on Fox, they do reads for wrestling on Friday. So they've got they're very codependent on each other right now. So makes me think that you're right, Brian. If Vince McMahon were to go back, it could really upset the apple cart in all kinds of different ways.
I agree.
Well, we'll see what happens. You never know. All right. Let's see. Before we get into the even more, a little bit of a salacious topic, let's pay some bills right here and talk to you about our friends at Premier Auto Detailing. If you don't like to wash your car, or it's been sitting there a while and needs a real good deep clean, call our friends at Premier Auto Detailing. They can make it look showroom new. We always joke they can make the jalopy look like it just rolled off the showroom floor. But also, if you're a independent car lot owner or something like that, you need fleet service done, my understanding is Premier Auto Detailing can handle that for you as well. If you want that car cleaned up and deep clean good, you need to pick up the phone, call 336-883-5722. That's 336-883-5722. One more time for you folks listening, and be sure you tell them that AIWF Ringside Wrestling sent you. It's 336-883-5722. Now, Tees Creations, custom apparel, sweatshirts, t-shirts, these things, koozies, I guess you call them. No, not koozies, tumblers. They got it all. Hey, custom made merchandise. If you need like t-shirts for a family reunion or some kind of church function, something like that, they can do custom jobs. They got stuff set up on their website. Again, my favorite is the cow with the glasses, which generated a very nasty comment from Commissioner Dave last week toward the owner. And I wish he'd quit doing that shit, insulting sponsors. He made a comment about Burger King about 6 months ago, and I was like, thanks a lot, dude. If they ever hear this, we'll never be able to pick them up as a sponsor. So but anyway, I love you, Commissioner, but you got no tact when it comes to advertising. Tees Creations. So look, check out their website. It's Tees Creations, all one word, no punctuation, teescreations22.com, teescreations22.com. And you can see all the things that they have set up there that you can order. Or if you got a custom order, it's got a form you can fill out. It got a number to call where you can reach out to them. You can also check out some of their stuff on Facebook.com facebook.com/Tees Creations. That's facebook.com/Tees Creations. And we thank them for sponsoring the show and all that custom stuff they do. Even my wife's got a shirt, has bought a shirt off of them. And you never know what you're going to find when you visit Tees Creations. So check them out sooner rather than later. All right. So here we go. It's Mandy. And I would like to thank my source for anytime I need to get to the bottom of something on the internet, there's a website called Reddit. And if it ain't on Reddit, it doesn't exist. And I would like to thank Reddit for providing all these photos, some of which were behind a paywall. So Reddit, thank you so much. But Mandy Rose is in the news. Mandy Rose, well, let's see here. I'll see if I can find the article. Mandy Rose was fired by WWE this week. Let's see. Can y'all still see the slideshow?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So listen to this. This is from a website. I forgot the name of it. So just bear with me. Mandy Rose, whose real name is Amanda Rose Sacamano, had her run as the WWE NXT Women's Champion come to a shocking end earlier this week. She was immediately released by the WWE. Roxanne, what's her name, won the NXT Women's Championship on Tuesday night. So that was very shocking because she's been champion for so long. It says here, a title run as impressive as Rose usually comes to an end during a major pay-per-view event. Her 413-day run as champ came to an end during a weekly episode of NXT. The rumored reason for this rush title loss is the fact that Rosie's racy fan time content was leaked. Rose all but confirmed this is the reason as her time in the WWE coming to an end. She reportedly addressed her release from the wrestling organization on the fan time page while assuring her subscribers that her racy content is still up. Hey guys, thanks for all the messages, she said in a statement. I am overwhelmed with all the love and support from you guys, and don't worry, the page is still up. In the lead up to her release, Rose had shared intimate pictures of her and her fiance, Tino Sabatelli, in the shower. There was also a video that was leaked that showed her skinny dipping in a swimming pool. Rose's racy content is still up, and it looks like it's not going anywhere. A link to her exclusive content page is now front and center on her Instagram account for her millions of followers to easily find. Anyone looking to subscribe to the page is welcomed with a message that reads, "Welcome to the main attraction." They're also welcomed with a $10 discount. The monthly subscription now costs $30. Will we see Rose back in the ring? If we do, it won't be until 2023. In the meantime, looks like she'll be busy creating exclusive content. All right, which one of y'all is going to pony up $30? Go onto the website and share your screen.
Well, I just say,
don't do that. We'll get kicked off YouTube. Please don't do that. I was joking.
I will say, I just read an article that said Lana makes more money doing her content than she did with WWE. So I'm gonna say that I bet she makes more money doing this, and it's probably easier on her body.
Yeah, definitely easier.
So,
easier than taking bumps. A lot of your stereotypical Twitter types got their, for lack of a better word, panties in a bunch this week, saying, "Oh, it's not fair. They fired Mandy. This isn't right. Vince McMahon did this. Vince McMahon did that." Rick Diesel, we were talking before the show. You said you had an opinion on this, so
if Vince McMahon was still there, she wouldn't have got fired.
Don't think so, because they let Selena Vega go a couple of years ago for the same thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, he made everybody get rid of their extra content, even like their Twitch channels. Like he wouldn't let them have Twitch accounts. He wouldn't let them have Cameo accounts. He wouldn't let them have any extra stuff.
Right.
So
yeah, because from what I'm hearing, WWE people are saying it's not. Of course, that's not their official stance, but people are saying that the reason WWE is doing this is not because of the content; it's because they're not getting their cut. From it.
I agree with that 1,000%.
See, this is my problem with it. Is they consider these people independent contractors.
Yes, the wrestlers, they do. Yep.
They consider them independent contractors. If you're an independent contractor, when you're not on WWE, on a show booked, you should be able to do whatever you want.
Come on in.
Okay, what I do?
Yeah,
We're talking about women in bikinis.
Oh.
Well, you know,
Ginger must be there.
it's,
Oh,
um,
lock your computer, Rick.
I'm kind of torn. I can see both sides of this argument, because you can say you can say that the person, whether it's a man or a woman, they have, they should be able to put on their site whatever they want. But then also you could say the WWE could say, we find what they're doing objectionable and we don't want that representing our company.
Yeah, because I mean, with my shoot job, if I did this, I mean, I'd lose my job.
Right.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I mean, I can understand all angles of it or whatsoever, but like, I don't know. I just find it weird, and maybe I'm old fashioned or whatever, but like, she is engaged to be married, and she must be pulling in a lot of money, man, to share that kind of stuff.
Is in some of the stuff, is she nude?
Yes.
Like, so she is nude in some of it.
Yeah, one guy, and I don't know, I just been reading the chatter on social media. One guy says she actually showed her cornhole. So,
oh my, I'm even shocked at that, and I don't get shocked at a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And so I'm like,
that's a lot.
if you want to make videos of you fucking your boyfriend in the shower, that's fine, but you can't expect to stay employed by a company who,
okay,
a lot of their target audience is children.
Kids. That's true. Okay, so I didn't know that. See,
Yeah.
I thought it was stuff like what we're seeing here.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
I
No.
thought it was like just risque, like innuendo pictures, where
yeah.
it's like you just see just enough.
Right, where
Yeah.
you're seeing just a little bit more than her regular ring gear, basically.
But not
Mhm.
pornography. Like,
Well, I don't know. They said an intimate video with her and her fiance in the shower. At least it's her
Right.
fiance. He's committed to marrying a girl. So hey, but that's the
but I
thing.
mean, still, I mean,
But then again, what if she were doing an R-rated movie, like a big
she's
Hollywood
not
R-rated?
gonna show her bunghole.
Well, I know, but what if she were nude, or not even nude, but just in
Well, some R-rated
in a-
movie shows full frontal too.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
But
you
I
can
mean,
get away
even
with
if
that.
it wasn't nudity, if it were something that is not content for children.
Mhm.
Well, they got rid of Brad Maddox real quick after that leaked video.
Yeah, but Xavier Woods was in that video. I know because I saw it.
I saw it too. I
and-
saw that lots of times.
Yeah, and so, but Xavier Woods didn't go anywhere.
I know,
You
but like that.
you don't have to cover the dog's eyes. I'm not going to show it.
Oh, I covered her ears. She's young.
Like, but it's also
Those of you listening,
content,
Rick
but it's
Diesel's holding a
also
dog.
content behind a paywall.
Yes.
It's not content that a child should be behind.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
that's my point. Well, like with an R-rated movie, an entertainer should be able to do. They should be able to do a Disney movie for kids, and then they should be able to do an R-rated movie for adults.
But
But
should they
again-
be allowed to suck dick on Pornhub and do a Disney movie? I say no.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying, there is a line, but then, like I said, it's up to the company, I think,
Yeah,
to say
that's
we don't, just like, if she got on Twitter and started spouting off weird conspiracy theories or weird political or religious beliefs, or racist things, they could say that as a company we don't want this person representing us as a company.
Yeah.
And I think they have that right to say that, we don't want them representing us,
Well-
whether it's racy pictures on the internet or speech. It's, if you want to work for them, then you have to, you are representative of that company.
Yep. It's disappointing to me because Mandy's been around for several years now. The first time I ever laid eyes on her was actually in person at an NXT show down here in Concord a few years ago. And I remember thinking, God, man, she's got supermodel cheekbones. And I mean, let's just be honest. Oh, Lord, if Jinky hears this, I'm talking, just examining a wrestler here. She's really put together, a big girl in good shape and can really fucking move. And to look like that, she could be into modeling, but no, she's here taking bumps, which told me that she really wanted to be in wrestling, and now that she's just kind of like, the hell with wrestling. I can make more doing these, these pictures and stuff. It's kind of sad as a wrestling fan, you think somebody's dedicated, but
well, again, it's one of those things where you at the end of the day, you have to look out for yourself and your family, and look at which one is the body. She may like wrestling more than modeling, but if modeling is going to bring in more money, then maybe she could do the modeling full time and do wrestling on the side. She could work some of the bigger independents and put whatever she wants on the internet. They're not going to say anything.
no, as a matter of fact, they'll use it on their posters.
Right.
But maybe, and let's just say, I don't want to be, it's not nice to tell people how to spend their own money, but maybe she's looking at it as, well, I'm getting ready to get married. Me and this guy might decide to have kids in a few years. I can bank all this money from this paywall internet thing and, take care of our financial security for years to come, because you never know, she may be thinking about having kids.
Right.
And that's going to throw a whole monkey wrench into the modeling thing. You girls out there that have had kids know what I'm talking about. And so, who knows? Just hate to see her go. I thought she was a great wrestler, and I thought that toxic attraction gimmick was great that they had going in NXT. It's just a shame.
I'm curious as to why there's that many people out there that pay $30 or $40 a month to look at one girl.
I don't know, but
I think,
those. Oh, sorry, I turned the camera.
No, it's okay. It's that thing of they become enamored with a celebrity. It's like those celebrity, the Mr. Skin. Like, it's not, you can go on the internet for free and look at a naked woman, but they don't want to look at just any naked woman. They want to look at this woman. It's like, I want to see her. If she were just a model on the internet, she wouldn't be getting that much attention, but it's because she's a wrestler. They see her out there in the ring, and some people just want to watch her wrestle, and some people want to watch her wrestle and want to see her naked. And so
I'd like to know the turnaround on her subscriptions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm interested in that. I mean, is there somebody out there that pays $30 a month for 10 months, or do they pay $30 a month for 1 month?
It's
say,
probably, I would say,
I've seen all I can see of her.
I would say it's a mixture. I would say there's some people who pay the $10, see all the content, and like, okay, I'm good, and then cancel. And then there's probably people who are going to subscribe until she shuts it down, because she's going to be adding new pictures, new videos.
She's going to grow new body parts, because it'll be the same thing they looked at last month.
Yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I would not do it myself. I'm not going to pay $30 a month to watch.
I wouldn't pay $30 a year. Hey, don't get me wrong. I think Mandy Rose is an absolute goddess, gorgeous woman.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't pay $30 a year to look at her naked.
No, I wouldn't either.
I'd Google pretty hard to find the images, but
Right.
Somebody's
Yeah.
putting them out there. Yeah, I mean,
It took me about a minute and a half to put this slide together. It took more trouble to crop it and slide it over than and so these pictures were easy to find. I got them off Reddit. They're on Instagram, I had to watch it because some of the more racy ones I didn't want to put up, but
can you
still
slide those into my messenger?
I ain't transferring them images. You go on Reddit and find them yourself.
Give me the link. Give me the link. I'm
Reddit.com and just search Mandy Rose. But just keep in mind now, Reddit records everything that you search for and reminds you every time you go on there what the last 3 things you looked at. So
I don't care.
hey, Reddit's got all that on there, but they also got a lot of nice stuff on there too. I found a picture of the old Dutch Inn hotel and restaurant from back in 1950. All right, let's pay some bills and then we'll get back to wrestling. All right, Branch Management is our first sponsor, and we are so grateful to them. They are a tree service that operates in the Mount Airy, Surry County area. If you've got branches too close to structures, your trees just need normal pruning so they don't get all wild and reckless and take over the yard. They can help you with that. They can even assist in complete tree removal. They offer very competitive rates. You could get $100 referral bonus if you refer a friend to them. They are great tree service, competitive rates, here to serve you, operate again in the Surry County area. You can give them a call for that tree service at 336-648-9282 or 336-320-8994. Those numbers once again for the tree service are 336-648-9282 or 336-320-8994. They also do pressure washing, landscaping, and gutter cleaning and general contracting service around the house. And it sounded like Reagan found that Reddit page.
Sorry, I'm sorry. In the middle of the advertisement, I'm sorry. That is an anomaly.
That's all right. It livens up the advertisement sometimes. So they can't clean up your filthy mind, but they can help you with your yard. It's just call 336-648-2487 for the landscaping, pressure washing, and gutter cleaning. Remember, though, $100 referral bonus is only for the tree service, but the rates for the landscaping and pressure washing, 336-648-2487 for more information for that. And now, last but certainly not least, yes, our most delicious sponsor, it's Tease Treats. They operate a food truck that operates out of Mount Airy, North Carolina. They got more than one, so they can be multiple places at once. They got hot dogs, mini donuts, milkshakes, funnel cakes. I mean, just about anything you can think of. They got those elephant ear fries like that, corn dogs, just absolutely fantastic food at good prices. You cannot beat Tease Treats. You can find out more information about Tease Treats, where they're going to be, at facebook.com/Tease Treats, or you can pick up the phone, give them a call and ask them, say, hey, where y'all going to be? I want to get a hot dog Wednesday. 336-755-8204. It's 336-755-8204 for more information about Tease Treats. Rick Diesel, where's Tease Treats going to be at this week?
All we got this week is we got a school function on tomorrow, actually.
Oh, okay.
We're slowing down a little bit for the winter. We got some dates coming up at the end of December, and we're working on January. But all food trucks slow down right much in the winter. So
yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go, folks. Season's Beatings is coming up. We're just a couple weeks away from it now. At Veterans Park in Mount Airy, tickets are reduced for the winter. $5 for ringside floor seats, $3 for the bleachers. This happens on New Year's Eve, special bell time, 5 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, 5. Let me hold it up there so you can see it, 5 p.m. So we will get you out of there in plenty of time to return to whatever drunken mayhem you have planned for New Year's Eve. We've got you all set. So don't worry about that. You'll be able to attend. We've had a couple of match announcements this week, and they are big. Big. All right, Jada Stone's going to get her crack at Clara. The AI, we just talking about Mandy Rose. Anyway, sorry. The Mid-Atlantic Women's Championship. It in a ladder match. I'm sorry, I need to be serious here because this is a serious situation. These two have already met in an I Quit match, lady, gentlemen. This time they're going to butt heads at the top of a freaking ladder. This is dangerous. This is hardcore. This is my least favorite match in the world because people can and do get hurt in ladder matches. I almost think they're more dangerous than cage matches. But you guys have spent time in the ring. I've sat behind a microphone. Is the ladder match the most dangerous match in pro wrestling outside of any of that stupid death match shit?
Yeah, what makes a ladder match so dangerous is there are so many different ways to be hurt with the ladder. It can be used as a weapon, a projectile. You can lean it against the ropes, the corner, throw people into it on the mat, and then there's also the climbing of the ladder itself, and being knocked off of it, the ladder being knocked over. There's just so many different ways to be injured in a ladder match, and it makes it very dangerous.
We've already seen what these two can do to each other. Like, you know, the I Quit match was a highlight of the show it was on, and people talked about it for weeks. So I'm very interested to see what these two girls can do in a ladder match, which, I mean, let's just be honest, on the independent circuit, especially, a ladder match is way outside the norm for a girls match or a women's match.
Way outside.
Yeah. Yes, it's very rare. It does happen, but yes, it's very rare.
And for these two to want to put themselves in that situation tells me a whole lot, that this title means a lot. I know it means a lot to Clara, but like it really gives me a sense that, you know, Jada may have held back in that I Quit match because I felt standing there at ringside, these two are familiar with each other. I think they've trained together in the past, and maybe Jada, when she had Clara down, didn't really put the accelerator to the floor, if that makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense, but, you know, I think that she was holding back because, oh yeah, I'm fighting her, but she's still kind of a sparring partner. She may have still been in that sparring partner, you know, vibe.
Mindset.
Like when you're training, like, yeah, you're not going full bore when you're training with somebody. You're just, you know, working moves out. What Joe Rogan says it when they're MMA training, they call it, let's get in the cage and roll around, or something like that is what they call it. It's just, yeah, you're still fighting, but it's light, you know. And
right.
So I think she may have still been in that mindset. I don't know, but she ain't gonna be able to do that in a ladder match. She comes in there with that kind of mindset in this ladder match, and I don't think she will, because I think she learned her lesson at the I Quit match. This is a dangerous situation for both these ladies, but I'm looking forward to it. God, it's gonna be good. They're intense.
Yeah, it definitely will be. It's going to be amazing.
It should be. Clara and Jada Stone's match is the second most popular video on our YouTube channel. It's already had over 18,000 views. So it's big. It's big. So they're going to hook them up again, as Bill Watts would say.
That's Mandy Rose numbers.
Oh, mercy.
This
all
one
right.
should be good too.
This one, well, Justin Flash made this challenge on this show when he was on here the last time, and it has come true. I'm glad Commissioner Dave was listening, and Justin Flash is going to get a crack at Jay Malachi. There it is again. Mid-Atlantic Cruiserweight title on the line this time. Jay Malachi has just won that championship from Dirty Joe. This is his first title defense going up against a former multi-time AIWF World Heavyweight Champion, multi-time tag team champion. Has he ever had the Mid-Atlantic title? I think he's been world champion several times, but
I'm not sure.
Flash,
He's in the chat asking.
yeah, he's in.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm sitting here. I'm waiting for him to answer that right now.
Yeah, Flash, answer us if you're watching. How many titles? List your resume real quick if you can type it real quick.
Real quick.
Yeah, just real quick. Twice world, 3 times tag, something like that. You know, you don't have to type the whole thing out, but yeah, this is, when he challenged him, when Flash, I mean pronouns, pal, speaking of Vince McMahon, when Flash challenged Malachi, I thought to myself, oh, that'd be really neat. You know, that'd be a great match, you know, old school versus new school. Because Jay Malachi is like 19 years old. You know, I mean, he is young. And when Flash made that challenge, I was like, that would be really cool. But then when I saw this match announcement, I couldn't get it on the Instagram fast enough. My fingers were flying as soon as this thing showed up on my phone. And I was like, wow. So it's going to happen. It's going to be speed, high flying. Folks, if you like the high flyers, if you like that style of wrestling, this is your match. These two are about as evenly matched as any two guys could be. And I am really looking forward to this. We've only had 2 match announcements, and I am like so stoked for season's beatings right now. I can't hardly stand it.
Flash said that he's Mid-Atlantic champion one time.
One time. World
And then
champion.
and then he listed another one.
Oh, did he?
Let's see. Hardcore champ 1. Absolute No Limits title 1. I guess he's still typing.
Nah.
Now, we used to have that Absolute No Limits back in the mid 2000s.
Yes, we did. As a matter of fact, for our YouTubers, there's a match with the Kamikaze Kid and Pestilence that just went up. That's for that title, I believe.
He said AIWF World twice,
Uh-huh.
tag team once. Just a Flash tag team. Brian and y'all had a. Was that crew? Oh, you won that one.
Yeah, Flash, I'm telling you, I remember Fusion GX days, and your partner was terrible. I'm just so fortunate that you did not get permanently injured carrying that tag team. That's me taking a shot at Jason Blade, everybody. I'm just teasing. Y'all are looking like, oh crap.
Like what?
No, I love Jason.
Blade.
I didn't know where to go with that.
I love Jason Blade.
I don't. I thought he was pretty good myself. I don't know.
No, I just try to take a shot at Jason every time. I don't want him to forget about his wrestling brothers. Jason and I were part of a commercial for a roller rink down in what's that town that's next to Elkin with the big roller skate? Remember the skating rink? Jonesville. Yeah,
Jonesville.
Yeah, I stop in that place and buy country ham there, the mountain ham or whatever, Foothills ham, when I come through sometimes. But yeah, Jonesville had a skating rink down there that the AIWF invaded one Saturday night, and boy, did we have a time. I know Justin Flash remembers that. He caught a boot to the face from Stephen Hayes right in the middle of the skating rink, and this huge brawl broke out with all the wrestlers and the kids were skating around. It was quite the perilous situation. Hey, but nobody got sued, so fun was had by all. Those little kids never forget that, I don't think.
We've been in those perilous situations many times before.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
We used to get into it back in the day, man.
Yes,
Yes.
Well, that wasn't that long ago. That was long around 06, 07, 08, somewhere in that area. So if I say that, not that long ago, but that's like 14 years, you know, it's amazing how time flies, doesn't it? But don't forget, fans, 5 o'clock bell time, New Year's Eve, Veterans Park, Mount Airy, season's beatings. It's all going down. Check out the poster behind me, guys. Wrestling at the National Guard Armory in North Wilkesboro. Can you tell by looking at the card what year it was? The main event was the Tennessee Violence Authority against the Tennessee Intimidators. Robert Roma versus Bad Brad. Jammer versus Major Havoc. Chris Wyndham versus Jumpin' Jimmy. King Cobra versus the Intruder.
That had to be 96, 97, maybe.
Yeah.
I remember you having the Tennessee Intimidators on Cable 6 show. And
The donut incident.
The donut incident.
Yeah. You don't remember that?
I saw the show. It's posted on Facebook. I just remember one of the fans saying you look like you eat too many Oreo cookies or some shit like that. And then
somebody had made a comment. I can't remember if it was one of the Intimidators or a fan that their workout consisted of eating donuts. And it was like either that day or another time they were on, somebody sent donuts to the studio.
Oh wow, did they?
I can't remember.
That's awesome. Oh, those people up there in Martinsville, man, that show was geared toward them, you know, because
Oh yeah.
it was just an hour of talking shit. And that is, you know, I mean, let's be honest, Star News still has a lot of that to this day. You know, if you ever are on Facebook and watch Charles do that Buzz show in the afternoon at 4:00, good Lord. I mean, you know, he looked at me when I was up there for the wedding, was like, sure you don't want to come back to work up here, Matt? And I'm just like, I do miss some of it though, man, like going to the football games and stuff like that. It was fun. And you never knew when you went up that mountain and hit that time clock what was going to happen while you were there. It was something new every day, that's for sure. So, but yeah.
I just love firing the people in Martinsville up for like 4 years.
Yeah.
God bless, that was fun.
We toned it down when we went to WSSV, but when you had that show in the beginning, man, God almighty. But there was people, the thing I liked about that show is you had the serious wrestling fans that would call you and ask you questions about what was going on in WCW and WWF, along with the people that just wanted to call in and talk shit, you know, which I thought was pretty good.
And we learned to adapt to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We did. I mean, we learned to have an answer for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made that show so popular. I remember it seemed like, I can't remember, I went into like a Biscuitville or something up there one time, and there was a replay of it on the TV in the restaurant. People was looking at me like,
hey, how's that guy on TV and here at the same time?
What kind of sorcery is this?
Yeah.
It says live.
Yeah, it's like that scene at the end of City Slickers too, where the cowboy's like, it's Curly, come back to life.
The Martinsville fan loved their wrestling up there. God bless every one of them, man.
Yeah.
I miss them dearly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
They were crazy. They were a crazy bunch.
Was it Martinsville where y'all showed that picture of Brian and everybody thought he was dead?
Yeah,
probably.
There was a picture of me. My face was just covered in blood, and I was laid out. And Billy was saying that Dr. Bill was saying that it looked like I was dead. And they opened the show like Brian Danzig dead at Grand Rental Station. And then the first person that called in, they were like, I'm sorry to hear about Brian. And they were like, no, that was just a joke. We just thought he looked dead. So no, he's actually on the show today.
I think I remember that now because we were so serious. We were like, you know, our prayers are with his family, and you know. Oh goodness! Yeah.
Did I dream it, or was there a time that you and Chris Wyndham was running through the mall up there, and somebody thought y'all were going to fight?
I think so. Yeah.
I think I remember that y'all was just out goofing off one day before a show, and and somebody thought y'all was going to fight in the mall.
I wouldn't have put it past us.
Yeah.
This will drum up some good. How they just took us in up there, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, it was just
they were hungry for live wrestling, and we gave them what they wanted. That they were really big into ECW, the hardcore stuff, and we gave them what they wanted, and they appreciated it and showed it by coming to the shows, and not only coming to the shows, but being loud and rowdy, just a dream, just a dream wrestling crowd.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, they were into it. I remember the Fieldale boys would come to the Bassett Community Center sometimes and start trouble. Big Don had to take that. There was one kid that used to come all the time, man, and he looked like Elliot from E.T., only taller. And he would try to fight Brian Yu and the family, and just about every bad guy wrestler that came out. And Big Don had to carry him out of there more than one time. And he he was such a skinny little punk, man. Big Don would just pick him up under one arm and carry him out. And there's video, it's out there of one of it was a show in 1998, one of the ones we did there in 98, where if you're watching at the right place at the right side of the screen, you can see Big Don with that kid under his arm walking toward the door.
And little did that poor kid know that Don was actually doing him a favor.
Yeah. Big Don made us all feel safer for many years.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, Big Don was awesome. Yep. So all right, gentlemen, that's all the material I got for us this week. Any thoughts before we get out of here? Y'all ready to get out of here? Do you have something else you want to say?
I follow your lead, man.
All right, cool beans. Well, everybody, Flash, of course, Flash is wanting to come in here now. No, he logged off. Okay, all right. So, he's like, oh, they're wrapping up.
You think a guy named Flash would be a little quicker.
Yeah.
Well, he gave that name when he first started, so you gotta give
That was before Zoom.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, Seasons Meetings on New Year's Eve. And we just might be back here on Christmas. I don't know. We'll talk about it and we'll see. And come back maybe and look back in our history books and see if we can find some cool Christmas night cards to talk about that used to take place back in the day. I was telling the guy that I work with that's not familiar about wrestling how big Christmas night was in the territory days. Like Thanksgiving and Christmas were two of the biggest night for wrestling promoters for many, many years. It's not
Ricky
that way.
Morton's doing a Christmas night show next week at his school in Chuckey, Tennessee.
Wow. Well, we'll see how it goes. It'll probably get a lot of views because people are going to be at home. So,
yeah.
So
Yeah,
we'll
everything
see.
else closed.
Yep.
Except for Mandy Rose's site.
Which is available to you for the low price of $30 per month. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Head
You
on over
can't
there.
beat it, although you might want to once you get in there.
I pay $30 a month to get like a funnel cake from T's Treats, like a subscription to her funnel cake.
Hey, she's doing gift certificates for Christmas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. All right. Well, so all that aside, we will look forward to seeing you at Seasons Meetings. Hopefully, maybe we'll join you on Christmas night and tell you some more funny stories from days gone by in AIWF. Christmas is a great time to reminisce. So
yeah, that is true.
Maybe that could be
full of ham telling inappropriate stories.
Yep.
Yeah, let's just do that. We'll come out on Christmas night and just tell bullshit stories from the past.
Most of those people aren't married to the same people anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to watch that.
I do have a funny story that I had been wanting to share for a while. I'm sure that I don't know if Rick remembers, but I'm sure he would once I started telling it. But remind me, and I'll tell it next
That'd be
week.
perfect. Christmas Eve story time.
Christmas night. Christmas night.
Christmas night. Yeah, Christmas night.
I can't do it on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, you're right. Christmas night story time. If anybody's got a good story, let us know. We'll send you the link so you can come on and tell it.
Yeah, that's any of the wrestlers or referees or hangers on from years gone by. Big Don, I know you got some. So,
Yeah. So get the word out. We want story time on Christmas night. We got everybody just come on and tell their favorite story from the past 30 years.
Yeah. And if it gets too salacious or whatever, don't worry. I've got the picture of the Advent wreath ready to go. And so if you need to cleanse your palate, we'll look at that and then we'll go back and start telling stories again. So
that's awesome. Heck yeah.
Yep. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us this week for AIWF Ringside Wrestling. We'll see you on Christmas night. And we will see you again as well on New Year's Eve for Seasons Meetings 2022. So for Hall of Famer Pagan, Hall of Famer Brian Danzig, Commissioner Rick Diesel, I am Mad Matt Carter. We'll see you next week, fans. And until then, so long for now.